What's up, guys? Welcome to Mike It Yourself and today's Review Wednesday. For today's video, we're actually not going to review something that I've done or something that I had when I got it kind of thing. It's really the bikes overall. So what I'm talking about is I just wanted to cover kind of the differences between the Softail and the touring bike, right? So as you shop around for your bikes or whatever, you're trying to figure out kind of, well, what should I get, right? Like a lot of folks, if you don't know anybody, you don't have any riding friends or anything like that, sometimes you struggle with trying to figure out what am I going to spend all my money on, right? And uh, and you want to make sure you make the right choice for you, right? You don't want to buy a bike and 6 months later find out it's just not the right fit for you. And I can tell you that from experience. I bought a bike a long time ago, and I bought it a very small bike, and I think within probably 3 months or so, I took it back and you know traded it in for a larger bike. I wish I had somebody there to kind of talk me through these things. So I'm hoping to be able to provide that information for you. So all in all, there are some major differences between the two bikes. Now, uh, this happens to be an Evo, my Softail, and then the 2017 Road Glide's the Milwaukee 8. So in cubic inch, huge difference, right? So I'm not going to even compare the motors, but what I will call out is the transmissions. The Softails generally come with 5-speed transmissions, where your touring bikes come with 6 speeds. And personally, I love the fact that I can hit into that 6th gear and just cruise along at low RPM. You don't feel it in your body or anything like that. The Softail is quite the opposite. It's got the hard-mounted motor, so there is um, no dampering of the engine vibration. So you kind of feel it throughout, and that's more of an older Evo thing. But ultimately, I like the ability to have that higher gear that you get with the touring bikes over the Softails. Um, I'm sure at one point luggage was an issue, but they sell kits to add saddlebags to your Softails, and you can get luggage racks and all that kind of stuff. So that's really not an issue at all. I will say that I love having an infotainment system on my bike. So if you get the Road Glide or Street Glide, you can get the stereo system and all that kind of jazz. And it's really nice just because sometimes you're riding for a long period of time. You want to crank up the tunes, man, and just like have a blast as you're ripping down the highway or whatever, and listening to some good music. Now you can get a Bluetooth setup for your helmet, and if you're on the Softail, you can listen to music just the same. It's just, of course, it's in your helmet instead of being able to blare it out. And depending on who you are, it's going to impact, how you feel while you ride. So what I mean by that is some people aren't comfortable playing music on their bike and knowing that all these other folks are going to, look at you and hear that you're, jamming out to Vanessa Williams or something, right? Versus layering it in your helmet and you're riding your bike and nobody knows, nobody's none the wiser, right? So the other thing that I really enjoy about having a fairing bike, and granted you can put a windshield on a Softail, is just that, blocking of the air. And what's nice about the Road Glide and I'm sure the Street Glide as well is they have vents that you can open up. So if you want that air to hit you, you have that option. I don't have a windshield on my Softail or for it at all. And I can tell you, like being on the freeway doing like 75, 80 miles an hour, it can be tough sometimes. You're kind of neck wrestling the wind with your helmet on. So, yeah, that to me, that's a little bit of a con. But like I said, you can actually add on the windshield and that'll cut that. I've seen guys smoke cigars behind their windshield, so it does an amazing job of blocking that air. And I'm not sure, but I'm fairly confident that if you were to get a windshield off of, similar year of heritage, it would probably just be plug and play for you, so you can mount that up and have the benefits of that windshield. So that's also a plus. The only other thing that I wanted to point out is on the touring bikes, and I know for sure Road Glide, I'm assuming Street Glide and the Road King as well, is cruise control. So, before people had the little locks that you put on your throttles, and you can buy that for your bike. And it's, I think, pretty cool that you can do cruise control now on these bigger bikes. So as you cruise down the highway, you just want to kind of relax that throttle hand, right? You can just set that cruise control to 75, whatever it is, and just you're humming along. It's awesome, right? So it's a good feeling. It was something new for me when I got the Road Glide, so I got to use it a couple of times. I really enjoyed it, just because it's one less thing you got to process in your head as you're riding down the highway. And it works just like any other vehicle's cruise control, where you hit your brake and it deactivates itself. So that's really convenient. So I was getting ready to wrap up this video, and I thought about it, and I said, you know what, there's one more thing I wanted to bring your attention to, and that is price point, right? So if you're a Harley Davidson owner, everybody loves to add things onto their bikes, right? So whether it's putting LED blinkers on, rims, tires, whatever it is, that's the other component of this is, you know, you can get a Softail for a lower price point than you would your touring bikes. So if that's something that you want to think through, is, you know, I want to be able to dress it up or whatever it is, you know, then that's something you might want to factor into your equation. And then, of course, look, right? You want your bike to look like the way you want it. So when you walk outside and you see it in your driveway or in your garage or wherever you park your bike, that you just think, man, I can't wait to jump on that bike and get going, right? So those are all the little things that you kind of need to work through as you make your decision as to which bike you want to get. And so I hope that I've inspired you to really dig a little deeper, figure out what's the right bike for you, and before you know it, get yourself in the win. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up. If you enjoy my content, become a subscriber. And if you don't want to miss out on that next video, hit that notification bell. You'll get the ding when that next video posts, and that way you won't miss out. And until then, I'll see you in the win.